Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping right into the specs of the Blustream CAT100EARC. And this is a really crucial little device if you need to manage high-end audio signals, things like eARC or ARC, over distances where, your standard HDMI cable is just going to fail. Our mission is to distill how this small box handles it all for you.
It's so critical because the problem it solves is, well, it's a modern wiring nightmare. Standard HDMI, especially for something like eARCs where the audio is coming back from the TV, it's just so limited by distance. We're talking a few feet maybe.
Right.
So this thing, the CAT100EARC RDs, it just uses a single standard C-TAC cable to extend that signal. It solves a huge installation headache.
So it's all about fixing that audio problem with wiring you probably already have in the walls. And speaking of the unit, it's tiny, something like 74 by 80 millimeters, but the range...
That's another story.
It definitely punches above its weight. And what's fascinating is how it forces you to make a choice. It's sort of a trade-off between maximum bandwidth and maximum distance.
So if you're extending the highest quality signals, like eARC or ARC, your max distance is 100 meters, which is still fantastic.
100 meters. That's over 300 feet. For HDMI bandwidth, that's incredible.
Exactly. But here's the trade-off. If you switch over to using the optical audio input, which is a bit lower bandwidth, the distance literally doubles. You can get up to 200 meters.
Wow. So that gives you, the installer, some serious flexibility depending on what the job needs.
It does. It all comes down to your priority, length or fidelity.
Okay, so let's unpack that fidelity angle. Once you've solved the distance problem, what kind of quality are we actually getting through this box? This is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in eARC mode, this thing it's basically a gatekeeper for the best audio formats out there. We're talking multi-channel PCM 2.0, 5.1, 7.1, Dolby Digital Plus, DTS, True HD.
All the heavy hitters.
And, crucially, full uncompressed Dolby Atmos. It's ready for, a proper high-end home cinema setup.
So maximum resolution, basically.
It is. But, and this is a big but, you have to notice the step down when you switch it over to the older ARC or the optical modes. In those modes, it caps out. You're limited to PCM 2.0, Dolby 5.1, and DTS 5.1.
So you lose all those high-res, object-based formats like Atmos.
Instantly gone.
Yeah.
It just reinforces that bandwidth versus distance trade-off we were talking about.
And making that choice is just a physical dip switch on the transmitter unit. Right?
Super simple, clean.
Let's talk about design convenience for a second.
For sure. I mean, it's clearly built for installers. It has bidirectional T-power over cable.
Ah, so you only need to plug one end in.
Right. Either the transmitter or the receiver. You don't need to find a power outlet behind a TV that's mounted way up on a wall.
That is a huge deal in commercial spaces. Power outlets are never where you need them. What about controlling the system?
It handles that too. When you're in the HDMI eARC mode, it supports CC pass-through. So your basic remote control functions, power, volume, they all still work over that long distance.
Okay, good. And what about the built-in DAS? That seems like a really nice little bonus feature.
It is a major convenience. It takes that digital signal, either from HDMI or optical, and converts it to an analog stereo output. It's just a standard 3.5 millimeter jack on the receiver.
So practically speaking, where would you use that?
It's perfect for, say, local monitoring in a rack room, or maybe feeding a small secondary audio zone without needing another expensive box. It's just built-in utility. But you have to remember the catch.
There's always a catch.
This conversion is strictly limited to 2-channel PCM only.
Right. So, to sum it all up, what does this all mean for someone looking at this device?
The CAT100EARC is a professional tool. It's a single cable solution to get high-fidelity audio over really long distances, and it has that handy analog conversion built right in. Plus, it's backed by a 5-year warranty, which shows confidence in the build.
So here is the final provocative thought for you to consider. This device is smart enough to transmit full, lossless, multi-channel Dolby Atmos over a digital link, a huge amount of data. But the analog output it offers you is strictly limited to basic 2-channel stereo. So the question is, how do you, the sophisticated user, weigh that built-in convenience of the Ds against that massive reduction in audio quality? When is convenience more important than fidelity in a professional install? Something to think about.